This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey everyone, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and this is Levin Luminol, a true crime podcast on the Gulf of Mexico. Go,
Dun, dun,
go,
dun.
go.
We didn't see any UFOs or nothing.
No UFOs. I was really trying.
Oh no. I figured since they had that big conference and brought out some bodies that you'd have some
Yeah,
deets.
Mexican government brought out alien bodies. I was hoping we'd see some aliens.
But no dice.
Look at all the sky behind us. You'd think we'd seen one at some point. There's
Editing,
ocean
you'll see
all the way
some
around.
Stop.
We didn't see nothing.
Two of them fighting in behind us and we didn't even notice.
Blows up. Nothing.
We didn't see nothing. A thing. But all right, today we're discussing Brooke Preston. Sound
Brooke
familiar
Preston. I mean, the two names separately, Brooke and Preston, but not together.
It's well known.
Okay, if you say so.
I mean, it has. Oh no.
It's not well known to me.
You're in the closet with this true crime stuff.
I'm in the closet. I came out years ago.
You know nothing. You know OJ. That's about all we got.
I do know OJ.
John Bonet and OJ. That's all you got in there.
Yeah.
That's all the room
And
you
famous
have.
serial killers. I know a few of those. But
Yeah.
yeah.
By name.
No, I know what they did too,
Some of them.
and some of them in person, like that haven't been caught yet.
Oh, that's what, that's what I figured. Who do you like? Ed Gein. You know Ed Gein.
I do know Ed Gein.
I heard you mention him. Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched that Netflix on that one.
What,
Dahmer.
Yeah.
You know him now.
Two of those are
Zodiacs. You like him.
Yeah. Two of those are from Wisconsin area.
Are they? Yeah, they are.
Ed Gein and Dahmer.
Yeah. Huh. Wisconsin, what are you doing?
It's the water.
It's the
One,
It's the
I mean, the
water.
person I said probably is a serial killer is actually from Wisconsin too. So what do
Really?
you know?
Huh. And you know Tupac and Biggie. You know that one.
That's not a serial killer.
I know. I'm just going over cases, you know.
Speaking of, they just arrested somebody for Tupac's murder.
They did? Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I don't keep up with that one.
Yep. He's somebody who's been, part of it for a while.
P. Diddy?
No, his name was Keefe D. He actually,
DVD.
they interviewed him a long time ago about it. He's actually since put out books and interviews saying he was in the car when they did they shot him. And I'm like, how did we not pick this guy up already? And then
Last I
suddenly
heard
they
that-
arrest him.
Last I heard, everyone was after P. Diddy or something for it. 'Cause
Well,
the
they did raid-
records or something.
They did raid P. Diddy's house.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's
So
the
he
last
might
I
have
heard
a part
about
of
it.
it. But the
like,
weirdest
hmm.
thing about that is, like I said, they arrest this Keefe D guy, and he's been telling everybody, "Yeah, I was there. I'm part of it." And like they
You're
didn't,
like, "Okay,
they just
thank
like,
you."
"Okay, thanks," and just let years and years and years go by, and then suddenly they're like, "You know what? We should probably arrest that
Probably
guy."
a new detective came in. It's like, I'm going to go through some old cases.
But do you know what's his name? Oh, I can't think of it right now.
Johnny Cash?
No, he used to be a Disney kid, and he's older now, and he's like out of his mind. He's like Orlando something. No, was it Orlando or I don't know. Anyway, I'll if I figure it out, we'll come back to it. But this guy, he was doing interviews, and they say, hey, he drops stuff all the time about like Hollywood molestation and weird
Oh,
conspiracy
yeah.
theories, and he always seems to have inside info on this stuff. But when they told him, they said, what do you think about Keefe D getting arrested for Tupac's murder? And he goes, that is Tupac. I'm like, what? He goes, look at him. It's Tupac. I'm like, what are you talking about? The guy was very confused doing in the interview.
I'm
And
sure
he's
it
like,
was.
He's like, yeah. He says they had him put on a different human suit. They took, or not a human suit, but they took his consciousness and putting it in another body or some. I don't know. He had some kind of weird story, and he's like, yeah, that's Tupac,
So
man.
Tupac killed Tupac?
And he's like, how you going to arrest him for killing himself? I'm like, This dude's gone.
Just to listen to him talk would be the most entertaining thing.
Oh, it's crazy. I'll have to look up his name. In fact, I'll Google it while we're doing this, and I'll let you know.
All right. Well, let's get into this case.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So I
figured
Googled
out?
it.
Yep.
It is what was it? Orlando Brown from That's So Raven.
Yeah, I know that.
So it's
yeah.
Nickelodeon, not Disney, I think, right? Or is that Disney?
No, that's Disney.
Is it? Okay.
That's So Raven.
But anyway, over the years, he's spouted all kinds of stuff about famous people and said, oh, that person has committed a bunch of murders, or that person rapes people, and like he just has tons
That's
of
so
stuff.
weird.
And he's like, oh, that guy raped me. Like he'll say all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, evidently Keefe D, the guy who's
Aw.
gotten arrested for murdering Tupac, is in fact Tupac.
That's insane.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. No, they heard it from Orlando Brown.
Well, these
That's
people
sad.
may
I
not have
wonder
seen
what-
that interview, so they may have heard it here first.
I know, but
Yeah, there's
Poor
something off with
Orlando.
him. I think
Yeah.
a lot of drugs, a lot of traumatic experience, and he's
that's
just,
some sad, traumatic
I don't know.
experience. I mean, I heard many, many stories of being a child star and how rough it is and how some of it's awful. So I'm sure that's mentally had a take on him, but
Yeah.
it's sad. But same time, we're like, well, that's entertaining. And the time you're like, that's sad that that poor guy
Yeah.
is, going through that mental breakdown. But it's entertaining. Unlike the people said Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
She's dead.
She's
This is a
dead.
clone
Yeah.
or a lookalike.
I watch those sometimes.
They did the same thing with Eminem. Eminem
Did
was
they?
cloned.
Beyonce's a reptile, they say.
Yeah. So is the Queen of England, the one who just died recently. Actually, they said she didn't actually die. That all these famous people who supposedly died didn't really die. They bring them. Evidently, where Antarctica isn't actually Antarctica. It's an ice wall, and on the other side of the wall is even more places where all the people go when they take them when they fake their death. And we live on a disc, not a globe.
live on a disc.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I don't know. Elvis was in California or something last year.
Speaking of all this weird stuff, before we get into the case, because we're going to do that in just a second,
They're like, about damn time.
we're doing a spin-off of this. Instead of Love and Luminol, it's going to be Love and Luminati. It'll be same place as always. It'll just be a normal Love and Luminol episode, but it'll be marked Love and Luminati. They're just going to be weird cases that aren't really true crime necessarily, but like just aliens, cloning, all this stuff we're talking about right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So keep a look out for that. We're going to be putting those episodes out pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, let's get to the case.
Brooke Preston
Brooke Preston.
was born September 1st, 1995.
Okay.
And this is in Sayre, Sayre. Sayre, Pennsylvania.
Sayer.
I don't know how you say it.
I'm going to go with Sayer.
Probably, but there's a picture of Brooke.
Okay.
It's a pretty girl. That's
Sure.
her again. She changed her hair, but that's the same woman. She just got highlights and lightened her hair.
I saw her down getting sushi at the ship.
You did not.
She looks like it.
I mean, sure, she does look familiar. And she has a sister named Jordan Preston.
Maybe it was the sister.
A picture of Jordan Preston right there.
That's her.
That was
the
her?
One. That was the one getting sushi.
So Jordan Preston, possible. That was possible. But Jordan Preston remembers driving with her sister from Sarasota, Florida, and West Palm Beach, Florida, where she had a job interview. So she's going through all these, because, let's start over. Sorry. Go back.
Okay.
So her sister, Jordan Preston, was going through all these memories and things because they have a pretty normal childhood. You're just chilling. They had a pretty
I'm
normal,
eating my straw. It's candy.
a pretty normal childhood. Everything's smooth, loving family, nothing out of the ordinary. And she said she remembers driving with her sister Brooke from Sarasota, Florida, and West Palm Beach, Florida, to where she had a job interview.
Okay.
And they accidentally hit a turtle in the middle of the road. Like ran one
Turtle?
over. Yeah, and Brooke was devastated and was crying. She said she's literally crying over this turtle. And that was
Should never
just
cry
she does,
over spilled turtle.
and that's she's just saying her sister just that kind of person, just a kind, loving, sweet. And they were attached to the hip.
Okay.
But Brooke's best friend throughout her school years was Randy Herman Jr. And I have a picture of him as well. And that's him.
Okay.
Under Armour, pretty normal looking guy. They all went to school together.
Looks
same
like a male
age.
cheerleader.
He does. But Jordan, Brooke, and Randy were like family. Like I said, that was best friend throughout school. So he knew the sister, Jordan, knew Brooke. Probably always came over to play and stuff. So the three of them were this one big happy group.
Okay.
But Randy had some issues with drinking. And so he had 2 DUIs on his record.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so he had a drinking problem. That's one he's arrested. He's
Oh,
younger.
yeah.
He looks like a kid there. And then that's him a little older,
That
arrested
looks
again.
like 2 different guys.
DUI. Yeah, it does. One he had glasses on and looked like a little
It wasn't
schooler.
really the glasses. Yeah, it was like
He's scrawny little
facial
guy. And this
features
one
look
he's like
completely
oof.
different.
Yeah. No, that's him. So he
Hmm.
had 2 DUIs on his record. He was known to drink at least 30 beers a day.
Wow.
At his young age, he lost his job and learned about his father's murder-suicide during that time, around the same time.
Oh.
So his dad, I guess his dad must have killed, it didn't say who his dad killed. He killed somebody and killed himself. I'm assuming it must have been his mom.
Damn.
But anyway, he had that to deal with. Around the same time, he lost his job, picked up his drinking habit, so he had it rough.
Speaking of drinking.
Yeah, sip on that mimosa. Or whatever it was.
It's not a mimosa.
It was kiss on the lips.
Kiss. Yeah, kiss on the lips.
Whatever, sex on the beach. But so all that hit him at once, and it was just rough for him. And Brooke and Jordan just had this loving little life. But poor Randy was going through it. He needed a new lease on life. So when he got out of jail, Brooke and Jordan were like, let's the 3 of us move to Florida. It'd be fun.
Why not?
Yeah, from Pennsylvania, they moved to Florida. And that's where her sister mentioned the story. They were driving down there, I guess, for a job interview for Brooke once they got down there. And that's the turtle situation happened. But
Turtle.
so the 3 of them moved down there and just did their own thing, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They got a rental place in West Palm Beach, Florida with Randy. So, again, and here's some pictures of them out having fun on the beach, driving around. I think
Cool.
one's him and Brooke and one's him and Jordan.
Okay.
But they're all together just having fun. And that's always exciting when you're that age. You're like, grab some friends, move somewhere out of state, and just
Yeah.
live life.
Mm-hmm.
But Brooke was moving out of their house. So they lived there for a little while. And Brooke met a boyfriend. She got a boyfriend and was moving out of their house to live with her boyfriend of 4 years in Buffalo, New York.
Oh.
So that was, again,
Distance.
another out of... Yeah, so Brooke was leaving them. Which, I mean, Jordan probably also was leaving.
Yeah.
So that left Randy there by himself.
Or Randy.
I know, poor guy. But she only had a few personal items left at that house. On March 25th, 2017, she came to the house to say her goodbyes to Randy and get the last little bit of her belongings.
Okay.
She's like, I have a few T-shirts, some makeup stuff probably left. I'm just going to grab that and say bye. And Randy, of course, was drunk off his butt. So she was annoyed by his drunkenness.
Drunkiness.
So, yeah, drunkenness. So they had another friend
Drunkenness.
that they've met down there, Kyle McGregor, and she said, you know what, you're drunk. I'm going to stay with Kyle because you're toasted.
Okay.
So she just said, you keep your drunk butt home. I'm staying with Kyle.
Yeah.
I ain't going to babysit you his last day in Florida.
You keep your
So
drunk
she called.
ass out of there.
So she called Kyle and said, "Come and get her. Randy's acting belligerent because obviously he doesn't want her to go, like that. If his father's committed suicide and we don't know what the murder part was,
Yeah.
he could be all by himself.
True.
So he could be flipping out. She's leaving him. That's all. She's all he knew.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It is. But when when Kyle got there, they found Randy naked in Brooke's closet.
The fuck?
That's how drunk he was. And I was like, oh, so he was naked in her closet hiding, I guess. I don't know.
Not again, Randy.
Not again. Poor guy. But she came back the next morning to gather her things from the house. And a badly hungover Randy helped her pack her very important T-shirt she had there. Some T-shirt.
Okay.
Memorizing a friend of theirs who died in a drunken accident.
Oh.
So a friend died in a drunk driving accident. That was the shirt.
Was Randy driving?
I don't think so, no. I think the friend was driving or something. I don't really know. Or it could have been hit by someone drunk and driving.
Could be.
But the shirt was memorizing that, and she wanted it, so she came
memorializing.
back. And Randy helped her find it and get it all packed up. They hugged goodbye, and Randy said he watched Brooke leave his room. So he watched her leave, and then he said he fell back asleep. He's like, I'm hungover. She came over. I got up, helped her pack her stuff. Then I went back to bed. The next thing he remembers, he was standing over Brooke covered in blood.
The fuck?
Yeah. And this is a quote. He says, quote, the next thing I know, I'm standing over top of her and I have a knife in my hand covered in blood. That's what he said from his testimony in 2019.
What the hell?
Yeah. He called the police on himself. So he called the police on himself, and I have that call here, part of it.
Okay.
I know being outside, I don't know if you can hear it. They'll be able to hear it when we play it, but see if you can hear it. Not with the sound off, I guess.
911 emergency.
Yeah, you need to send police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
Someone's been murdered.
Okay, someone has been murdered. Okay, in what way? Do you know if they're breathing or they're definitely passed away?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, well, what did you see, sir?
I'm at Haverhill Park. Just send the police. It was me. I'm sorry.
See,
he sounds very calm.
He sounds very calm, and the fact that he says the next thing I know, I'm standing over top of her and stuff. But then in that call, he says, "Just I'm here at the park. Just send the police.
It's
I
me.
did it. Yeah,
Just I'm sorry.
yeah." He's like, "I'm sorry."
Very calm, very matter of fact.
Yeah,
I don't like that. That feels like he knew what was going on.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't like that. So he told the police to come get him at nearby Haverhill Park, which I don't know why he left the house anyway. Like
Yeah.
If he all of a sudden he remembers standing over her bloody holding a knife, and then he's like, come get me at the park across the street. I'm like, why'd you leave?
Yeah.
Call the cops right then. So I don't know why he left to go to the park. That's a little weird. But the police found Randy covered in blood and noted a wound between his thumb and index finger on his left hand. So there's some kind of cut or wound. And they drove him back to the house and discovered the bloody scene. So it could be he left because he didn't want to be there to see her. That could be it. He could be like, I gotta get out of here.
Maybe.
I can't see this. But Brooke's body was under a blanket, and she had visible defensive wounds. And she was stabbed 25 times.
Holy shit.
25 times. Hand wounds were from slipping and cutting himself while stabbing her. That's what the wound on his hand was from. And the murder weapon used was a, quote, hunting-style knife. So, yeah, he had a hunting-style knife. And here's a picture of him in interrogation. Obviously, they let him change, but he just looks out of it. Like he's just cruising through. They're taking his picture, it looks like, but...
Yeah.
And then, his defense was that he was sleepwalking. Yeah. The sleepwalking explanation was first brought up by his mother, who told police he had a history of sleepwalking.
Okay.
And then his attorneys just ran with that idea and claimed guilty due to mental illness.
I didn't know sleepwalking was a mental illness.
I didn't know either. All right, and here is, I have a picture of him in court. Don't know what that facial expression's for, but...
Well, I'm here, I guess.
He just looks like...
Let's see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
See if this mental sleepwalking shit works out.
See what we can do with this. But there was a certain criteria that a murder needs to meet for it to be attributed to sleepwalking.
Okay.
These include a history of sleepwalking,
Mm-hmm.
no apparent motive, and a victim who was well loved by the attacker. Check, check. And that apparent motive, she was leaving him to move away.
Yeah, but I mean, that
Either way, though, she
necessarily
would have been
isn't-
gone, yeah.
Yeah,
So but unless they argued about it and he just got mad.
that's possible, I guess.
Drunk and mad. I mean, he was drunk. Or hungover, at least. He said hungover. I don't know. But including one incident, so he had a sleepwalking incident when he rode his bike to her workplace while asleep. So he's sleepwalking. He
Wow.
hopped on his bike and rode it all the way to Brooke's work. So that's a little weird.
So he has had sleepwalking incidences related to her,
Yes.
where he went to go to her.
Mm-hmm. When he went to her.
So,
So that's
I
what
mean-
they're saying. He had a history of sleepwalking that always led to him going to her. So they're like, But also, they also said, well, his dad was a murderer too. Not
True.
murder-suicide. Maybe it's in his blood. Maybe it's a temper thing. And here it goes. Here's where it explains. But his dad killed his girlfriend and then himself years earlier. So it was the
Oh,
girlfriend.
now we know. Okay.
It's not the mom. It was the girlfriend. His dad killed his girlfriend and then himself. And the prosecutor focused on a more sexual motive for the crime. He's like, I don't think he was sleepwalking. I think he just got turned down. So that's him and his lawyer. His lawyer looks like he's into something. He's really concentrating, and he's just staring off to the side. He's like, I paid you to get this. I'm not paying attention. But Assistant State Attorney Reed Scott said, quote, this is skin. This is bone. This is muscle. And he's doing this as he's stabbing in the air. He said, you're not going to sleepwalk through that. 25 times. I know. He's like, you can't sleepwalk through
I
stabbing
mean, if he
someone.
sleepwalked through riding his bike all through town,
So I was like, and I hear
hitting bumps, all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like there's other cases of people sleepwalking.
there are.
There was a Lifetime movie about one of them. So I mean, but they painted the prosecutors painted the killing as motivated by unrequited feelings. So like he came out to her, said, "I love you. I don't want you to go," and she's like, "Nah, dude," and then he just got mad at her. That's
I
what
don't
they're
know.
pushing. So see, both sides have a possibility. But Herman was drunk and incoherent, and had curled up in a naked ball in Brooke's closet the night before. So that's when they found him in the closet. Randy was naked, speaking all kinds of gibberish, curled up crying in her closet.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, see? He didn't want her to go. And that hinted at him as being traumatized by her moving. Like he did not want her to abandon him. A friend of his told the Daily Beast. That's what I want to name my newspaper.
Don't go there.
Daily Beast?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like them? But a friend of his told the Daily Beast that he believed Randy was, quote, crushing on Brooke. He had a crush on Brooke. I mean, probably. But I don't think that merits murder.
Well,
don't
merits
know.
and actually being a motive are two different things.
Yeah.
People do all kinds of shit that you
True,
don't think
I mean-
that probably isn't justify murder, but they still do it.
Especially on drunk. You never know.
Yeah.
But Jordan also lived with Randy and Brooke for 6 months and never witnessed him sleepwalking. She said, I lived with them for 6 months, and I never seen him sleepwalk.
Huh.
So I'm like, I don't know. Dr. Wade Myers, a forensic psychiatrist, suggests that the killing may have been sexually motivated. So even a psychiatrist has been like, I think it's sexually motivated. But in 2019, a 12-person jury rejected Randy's sleepwalking explanation for the death. They said, nah, I don't think it happened. And they found him guilty of murder.
Okay.
He's convicted May of 2019 to a life sentence.
Damn.
Parole, yeah. So they're like, I don't think they sleepwalked. And they sentenced him to life. He's incarcerated at the Hardy Correctional Facility in Bowling Green. Bowling Green, is that Kentucky? Alabama?
Alabama or Kentucky?
I think it'd be
Bowling
Alabama.
Green. Maybe it's Kentucky.
Because this happened in Florida. So was so confused.
Bowling Green.
I don't know.
I'm going to go with Alabama.
I'd say they're from. Are they from Alabama? No, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but it happened in Florida.
It happened in Florida.
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Okay. I don't even know.
I could be wrong. Maybe there's a Bowling Green, Florida.
Possible. It is possible because he wrote a letter to the Miami New Times stating, quote, I believe what happened in my case could have been the accumulation of tremendous stress, depression, trauma, and alcohol that essentially resulted in some unexplainable mental breakdown. I'm beyond sorry. Part of me feels like I deserve a life sentence, but the other part of me knows I did not intentionally do this, and I deserve a second chance in life. Quote. So he's saying, I believe it's a lot of things. It's a mental episode. I know I did it, but I think I deserve another shot, is what he's saying. But Hulu released a documentary on December 16th about his case. Yeah, so that's why I was surprised you didn't hear about it, because it's on Hulu. You might have seen this, but Dead Asleep.
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? I watched this. It was not bad. I'll get into it, but I watched. It's on Hulu. Dead Asleep is still on Hulu, I think. We'll get into it, but it's a documentary directed by Sky Borgman and was largely centered around police and trial footage, reenactments, and interviews with Randy. The documentary even showed police footage of Brooke's parents being told the grisly nature of her death, which is ridiculous to me. Yeah. So they actually aired the footage of the moment they told her parents how she died.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and used it, I guess, as clout for their documentary. Which is why the Prestons threw a fit, as they should have.
Yeah.
They did not participate in the documentary whatsoever. So they didn't participate, didn't want it done, and Hulu's like, we're just going to do this.
They said too fucking bad.
But we're just going to do Randy's side since you don't want to. So now they're like, okay. But Jordan, the sister, made a TikTok protesting the release of the documentary. And I have a picture of a screenshot of her TikTok. And it says, and she put on there, quote, you think you can hurt me? Hulu just released a documentary on how my little sister was brutally murdered without our family's consent, so now we get to relive the worst day of our lives. So they didn't give them permission to use this information, nothing. Hulu just ran with it and focused more on Randy's side. Yeah, it's not right at all. But her TikTok got more than 15 million views. So it got out there.
Yeah.
She also posted a change.org petition to stop the release of the documentary. And she had more than 11,000 signatures.
Not enough.
Not enough for Hulu, no. Delta Airlines, though, contacted her about how they were, quote, removing the documentary from all their aircrafts. After seeing her petition. They're like, we won't show that documentary on any of our planes. So they completely blocked that. So that, at least Delta acknowledged it, as that was shitty. So thank you, Delta. But she added to a TikTok video caption, quote, never stop fighting for the ones you love. Thank you, Delta. I truly hope Hulu follows in your footsteps and chooses human decency over profit. Quote. So there you go. Which I think, tell him. But as of January 5th of 2022, over 130,000 have signed a petition demanding Hulu remove the documentary. That's why I'm saying I think it's still, last time I saw it, it was still on Hulu. I don't know if eventually they'll give in and remove it. Probably not, since I'm sure this is giving it more attention. I want to see this documentary, see what all the hype's about. So I'm sure Hulu's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. But I have a picture of her and Brooke. I think she used a similar picture on her change petition, but that's Jordan on the right, and then there's little Brooke. That's horribly sad. I'd be mad.
Yeah.
But Randy is now engaged to a woman named Nicole Ellen. So he's living it up, I guess. And that's a picture of her and him in prison.
Wow.
Looks like she could kick his ass.
Yeah.
She's taller than him. But he's engaged. I don't know if this how she met him. I don't know if the documentary, if she's
Prison
like,
pen pals.
yeah, if it was a prison pen pal or the documentary and all this coverage, she's like, he didn't do it and he's kind of cute. I don't know. I don't know, but he's engaged now to Nicole Ellen. On May 28th, 2022, she posted a TikTok video revealing that she and Randy are getting married. So that was after the Hulu documentary stuff. She claims he bought the ring himself. How? I don't know.
It was on his books.
Beats me. She said she doesn't put money on his books. But I'm not sure how he communicates with her if she doesn't. I mean, it costs to send emails and phone calls, and that rings. I don't think they sell rings in prison. He could have bought. He could have bought one somebody made out of trash bag ties or something, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Didn't get the details of that. How many carats was that diamond, sir?
It's 40 trash bags. 40 carat trash bags.
And Nicole got a tattoo of Randy's name to commemorate their love.
Of course she did.
Because why not? That always works out for us in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad luck. Don't you look at me. It's bad luck. But that's it. So far, that's last I can tell. The documentary's still up. He's still found guilty, but he's pushing to be released and given a second chance. And the family's like, take that damn documentary down.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You're supporting him when she's the one that was killed. Which I get it. And the video footage of them when they found out how she died is ridiculous. Shame on you, Hulu. Shame on you.
Wow.
That's a very private, devastating moment that they now have to see on that documentary. And I'm sure it's been played in highlights and it's to draw people into the documentary, and that's just ridiculous.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, we're going to make a profit off of your despair. That's awful. So, there you go. Shame on you, Hulu. Thoughts to the family. If you guys haven't signed that petition, sign it.
Sign.
I think I did when I did my research. I signed it. So they have 130,001. So I signed it. If you guys want to sign it, just go to change.org and look for Brooke Preston's name, and it should pop up.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Alrighty. Well.
Oh, shame.
Shame on you, Hulu.
Shame. And I watch Hulu.
We do.
And I watched the documentary before I knew this stuff. Like, I watched the documentary, and then on TikTok scrolling's when I found people sharing her sister's video, and I'm like, oh, I get it, because then I thought, yeah, that did focus a lot on him and sleepwalking and how sleepwalking can cause people to kill people, and I'm like, it's awful. It's a shame. Take it down.
Yes, take it down.
Take it down.
Fucking Hulu.
Fucking Hulu. Take it down.
Take it down, Hulu.
Yeah, because that's awful. Not only that, but nieces, like when her sister grows old and maybe has children, if they Google Brooke Preston, they're going to get that video. They're going to get their grandparents' reactions and all that stuff, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
To see your family in that situation. So take it down.
Definitely.
All right. But that's it for that one. How was that one for you?
I mean, at least the guy's in prison.
At least the guy's in prison. He might cancel our Hulu subscription, but
I don't know about that. I mean, I agree with him, and I think it should be taken down, but
yeah.
How else am I going to catch up on Raw and SmackDown?
Oh, that's true. Oh,
because I don't watch it live.
Torn. But I do think it's shitty. They need to at least take that one down.
They do. I agree.
That one down. But yeah, that's it. If, like I said, the change petition's still out there to remove that documentary. That's all we got.
All right. Well, again, if you were watching the last one, I'll say it again for this one if you weren't. We are on a cruise ship, and we placed those fancy rubber duckies all over the ship. Rubber duckies have stickers on the bottom with QR codes. It says Love and Luminol and a QR code. That QR code will bring you to our website. There is a contact form on there. So if you've watched this episode and you found out about us through one of our little rubber duckies on the ship, please contact us and let us know the name of the ship and where you found the duck on the ship. And we will shout you out on the next recorded episode.
Yay!
If you like us, follow, subscribe. We are on all social media except Twitter/X. Everywhere else, we are there. Love and Luminol, or at Love and Luminol on all of them. That QR code on the rubber ducky will also bring you to loveandluminol.com for all the people who don't have duckies. On that site, you can find all of our links to our audio or video podcast service wherever we are on your service. Video is Spotify and YouTube, audio everywhere else. If we're not listed on there, it's just because it probably wasn't one of the main ones, but we are on pretty much everywhere for audio. But loveandluminol.com, click it, and you can find us on your service. That's all I got.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well, from the Gulf of Mexico, we will see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.